procedure across the board here. Old dude over there at Daily Wire had some connections, but then again, I don't know. This actually could go the other way. What if she kicks off a revolt over there and it hurts the Daily Wire, which is what a lot of people are suggesting and suspecting is going to be the outcome, that the Daily Wire is going to experience a diminution, if you will. A lot of folks are suspecting that that's what's going to occur. In any case, you've got a right-wing internal civil war going on over there. They're going at it hammer and tong in the middle of an election year. Be there or be square. The telephone number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the Black Channel. Let me get caller from area code 206. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi. Good evening. This is Agnes calling from Seattle.
Okay, Agnes from Seattle.
A lot of white women come up here, I bet you.
Hi. I just wanted to say excellent, very thorough analysis.
You don't need your white
once
approval,
again,
woman.
White supremacy always breaks its tools. Candice kicked over a hornet's nest when she thought that she could talk out of turn and talk out of the side of the neck to those folks over there wearing small hats. And see, small hats stay on code. They may have their internal disagreements with each other, but the second you say something out of place, especially when you're black and female, it doesn't matter where you stand. They will come with that "I'm white and I say so" card regardless. And I do believe this was just the beginning. She just got a teaspoon of what's in store. Thank you very much, B1.
B1 says, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. I mean, they gave her the full, you need to submit to however we feel.
You can make more money being
what you're saying is wrong. Whatever we say is wrong, that's wrong.
Outside of there. It's all
I
about
mean, boy, they took it to a whole new level.
Watch what I tell you.
Let me get caller from area code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good evening, big brother Jason. This is brother Elijah calling on a week.
Oh, God. Get this fucking retard off the wall.
All right, brother Elijah, the Wheaton, what's on your mind?
Brother, I got a question for you.
Oh,
because,
God,
I got
you saw the same shit
many
all
thoughts
the time.
going
You
in my mind about
retarded,
this
man.
sister, Candice
You
Owens, or
retarded.
not sister, if for appropriate term.
I got a question.
I learned so much about her. You know, she had a racial incident when she was going to school, high school. Black people got behind her, and I'm trying to figure this out over the years. I think the NAACP got behind her too, and she won a lawsuit, something of that nature. I'm trying to figure out who or what was it that gave her this satanic pill one day to wake up one morning and just decide she just hates all black people. And my whole thing is, when I listen to this woman, she could have been a wonderful spokesperson for us, but she's just a chocolate-covered anti-black white supremacist. I'm trying to figure out where did that come from?
It came from your upbringing. It came from the neighborhood. It came from her parents. It came from being an awkward chick. You got to understand, there's a lot of folks out there that they're carrying their high school years through their whole life for them. So, most likely when she was in school and whatnot, she didn't get the level of respect, if you will, or deference from black folk that she felt she should get. So very clearly you can see she's got a very inflated sense of ego about her. And she expects folks to bow to her. So when you get accustomed to that kind of pet treatment, then you start looking at the rest of us and expecting us to do the same thing. And if they don't respond like that, well, okay, if I can't run y'all, I'll wreck y'all. So beware when you see that kind of mentality, but that's the position she comes at it from. If I can't run y'all, I'll wreck y'all. The other thing is there's power, relatively speaking. I mean, we talk about this phenomenon forever. You know, these black folk who try to pretend to be right wingers and white supremacists, faux white supremacists. Well, you're the only one in the room. But you see, they've given you a token position. So
the problem is you can't be around white folks who are that
get elevated when there are fewer positions available.
Shown.
So she went to a place that has some token positions available. Yeah, if you want to sell your soul and sell your dignity.
I don't know
sure.
what the fuck they
So she's like,
about.
okay, well, let me get one of those seats. And so when you have these deficient Negroes who are willing to, they're so desperate for clout, attention, status of some kind, they don't really have a skill set that works. Let's be clear. Candice Owens would not be a good spokesperson for black people.
Thanks.
No, she wouldn't.
Yes, sir.
She'd be another Ilhan Omar. She'd be another, she'd be another Sheila Jackson Lee. She'd be another Kamala Harris. An articulate chick that fellas thought was cute in her 20s. But otherwise, she doesn't have any grounding in the soil. She talks about being black as an academic exercise. Just like Barack Obama, just like Kamala Harris. They talk about being black as if they were white people. So she doesn't have the credentials, and she doesn't have the touch with the soil. She doesn't have the grounding to be able to speak for us. If she attempted to do so, it would just be real weird and weak and awkward.
Right.
And she'd be talking about anime and manga the whole time. So thank you very much for getting this. Oh, and rappers and smoking weed. She would be talking about rappers and smoking weed the whole time. That's what she'd be talking about. It would just be real cringe. It'd be real awkward. Hell, she doesn't even defend herself well against this rabbi sitting up here attacking her. She doesn't even defend her black credentials well against him.
Speak about it.
How is she gonna defend an entire nation of people? She is deficient and sucks at defending herself.
Talk about it.
She is divorced from blackness, and she's been that way the whole time. Call from area code 815. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, this is Bill calling out of Rockford, Illinois.
All right, Bill out of Rockford, Illinois. What's on your mind?
So, like this chick, I don't even know how to explain her. She's really a disaster. And then she said in her interview that, oh, well, I call out the thugs and this and that and this, but I never heard her say anything about what happened in Mississippi with the Goon Squad. You know what I'm saying? One knows a gang of thugs, she ain't call them out. I never heard her say
she would be too busy cheerleading for them if she did. So just, that's what that would be.
Yeah, that whole situation is a disaster. They only giving out 17 years. They didn't even charge those guys with attempt murder or nothing. They just let them go with whatever charges they put on him. But he shot the guy in the mouth. They never charged him with attempt murder. If I went out and shot somebody in the mouth, of course they'll charge me with attempt murder.
If you shot a cop in his pinky toe, it would be attempted murder.
Exactly. So I just don't get it how they only getting 17 years. The max is 40 years on an attempt murder. They give out here in Rockford, Illinois. You do an attempt murder, you looking at 30 years, and that's just on a regular civilian. So it's ridiculous. And these guys are supposed to uphold the law, but at the same time, you are here sodomizing, handcuffing, peeing on people. They even said in the report that the officer dry humped this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of crazy white supremacist stuff is that? All you got to do handcuffed, and then you turn around and dry hump them.
I mean, they went full Greek Spartans on them. I mean, look, and the crazy part about it is when you're talking about the police, when you're dealing with discussing it in the context of the white supremacist apparatus, she talking about BLM and whatnot. This is the police have been on a killing spree for the last decade, and Candice Owens was there for it and cheering the whole time. Meanwhile, on January 6th, now the woman who claims they're against rioting and whatnot, January 6th, they ain't got a word to say about that. They were beating up police, attacking them, killing them, and everything else, and they didn't have a word to say about that. So these folks don't give a damn about police. They're not worried about that. Police is just a jingle and a slogan that they invoke whenever they see an opportunity to attack black people. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call from area code 267. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Damn, 10 minutes already?
It's Jay from Philly.
Damn.
Jay from Philly, what's on your mind?
Yeah, great broadcast, brothers. I got a question for you. And tell me if I'm correct. I'm noticing somewhat of a growing fan base for Candace Owens. Part of it is due to these people that follow, guys like Kanye West, who like to break up the white supremacists into Jewish white supremacists
That's right. She can kick
Anglo
it
white
Kanye.
supremacists. I mean, according to me, as far as I'm concerned, they're all white supremacists, right? But she calls out the Jews, and another thing she does is that she holds these black women, or not just black women, but women in general, accountable for some of their actions. And I've been noticing that there is somewhat of a growing fan base, and I think she's just going to pivot, and keep going that route and possibly try to, attract more black people to her side.
That's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. As long as she got Zaddy over there, that's not going to work. Her anti-black tendencies, Zaddy, you add all that together, it doesn't add up to that. So she can reference it every once in a while, but she's got to talk to white dudes. She got to talk to that dude Destiny, and she's not talking to anybody with any credentials on our side of the fence. So she's really just talking to the same small echo chamber, and they don't want any women speaking for them. So she can reference it and whatnot. If she thinks she's going to take Pearly Thing's place and whatnot, and that's going to be a hard hill to climb. So no, there are no black women who are looking to emulate Candace Owens' life. That's the problem. Black women are not sitting around wishing they could become Candace Owens any more than black men are sitting around wishing they become Fresh and Fit. So thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller area code 651. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Bill calling out of Minneapolis, Minnesota.
All right, Bill out of Minneapolis. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. I just want to say a great broadcast tonight, and everything you said about Candace Owens was really, you hit it on the head. Pretty much this woman has been pretty much a drifter all this time throughout her entire pathetic life. And the one thing that really, insults my intelligence when it comes to her is that you had the audacity to sue, for racial discrimination back when you were a teenager, and you had the NAACP backing you up. Then all of a sudden, years later, you turn around, decided to go right wing, and then all of a sudden, you got all this money coming into you, literally coming in by the millions. And then they were basically putting you on the poster saying, "Hey, that's our little black puppet for white supremacy." And now basically she speaks out of turn, and then basically they cut her off of the bag. As many people have said many times, white supremacy has no retirement fund. And you know what really, irks me here is that she's trying to, leach into the black side, doing interviews with the Breakfast Club. Like, listen, you're not going to get any black support. Like, literally, she's really destroyed everything about her. Everything about her is just literally death. And it's just like, you just sitting here, disgracing yourself, and then now all of a sudden you want to try to completely change the entire character about yourself.
Up until now, it worked. Remember, there's not a retirement plan for Coonan, but there is a cash advance. There's a cash advance, but there's not a retirement plan. So because there are the slots that are available, there's not many people competing for them. So that's why you got competition, because, okay, those are some seats that are available. The problem is once you cross over there, it's a one-way street. And you better hope that absolutely nothing ever goes wrong.
What's the
because
long-term
if it
goal?
does,
Not
you can't come back over here.
But the
white supremacists
long-term
won't
goal.
take you, and we absolutely can't take you. So it becomes this real perilous situation. Right now, reading the tea leaves and seeing how that goes, I'm like, okay, so are you all telling me that white society is going to back Candace over those fellows over there at the Daily Wire? I don't know. Stay tuned, sports fans. She might figure it out. Thank you very much for giving us a call. She might figure it out, but boy, that's a hell of a devil's dilemma, isn't it? The
You
big
better
win
go
to the
for
biggest. Which one do you back?
Suing which she won't win because
Call from Miracle 203. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling
the
from?
law is for white supremacy and Jews, so she won't win that.
Call from Miracle 203. Last try. You're on live.
And there will be no long run
Columbus, Georgia.
with
Okay,
black.
John from Columbus, Georgia. What's on your mind?
There's nothing.
Yeah, Candace, I've been saying pretty much the same thing. She wasn't going to have anywhere to go once it all
Nowhere to
fell
go.
out. And normally people like
She's an
that,
outcast.
that's
She's
their
a
fate.
nomad.
They go into this with this attitude that, okay, as long as I have these people on my side, it don't matter. As long as I get this money, it don't matter. And secondly, I want to ask, what is in anime that leads people to not date within their own culture? Because I know a few people who are like that. There's something in there where it's like, okay, I'm starting to see a consistency, and when you call things before they happen, you kind of get a pattern here. I don't know what's in that to make people do to disgrace their own race like that.
You're talking about from anime?
Anime. I swear to God, my brother.
Well, okay, brother. But where anime is concerned, culture is the most important export from a nation or a people. Your culture. So before anime, there was already an interest in Japanese culture because of the shogun and the ninjas. As children, how many of us didn't have that as something that we thought was cool and fun? So that was something that caught on. So anime, has been a major vehicle for exporting Japanese culture. The reason why this is important is because what happens is that when people gain an affinity for your culture, they also want to imprint it on themselves. We see this with animal totems. We see this with weather and elementals. So Japanese culture, anime is easily transportable. It's a cartoon. You encounter it as children. You can interpret it however you wish to, even though you don't have any idea whatsoever what the motive is of the people behind it, although what I show you is not very great. So it leaves itself really open to interpretation. It seems otherwise harmless, and it allows you to engage in a fantasy world that's outside of your own without you having to make a permanent commitment to it. So there's a whole lot of pull to it in that regard. But in the process, what tends to happen to some disaffected people is they become nerds who start identifying with what they see and where it came from. Now, that's where the change happens. As Brother Neely Fuller would put it, you become confused. So you're not watching anime. You're telling yourself, I'm an honorary Japanese person. And that's where the change happens. You become this big, Dragon Ball Z fan and Pokemon fan. And then now you've bled over. You've gotten so deep into it that you've lost yourself. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Let me get caller Miracle 301. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello? This is Sherry from Maryland.
Okay, Sherry from where at in Maryland?
Hyattsville, Maryland.
Hi, Sherry from Hyattsville, Maryland. What's on your mind?
I'm calling to say, Candace got what she deserved. Let's just give her the Roland Martin treatment, because we look at Roland, he is scrambling every day. But the only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is that some of the things she says, I think, from what I can, from the people that I talk to, she makes sense here, and then she goes left. So I'm hoping that because we're such forgiving people that, like she went on a Breakfast Club, that we can get swayed into she's learned her lesson. She has not. She's a traitor. I've gone to school with Haitians. My best friend is Haitian, and they got issues. They've got some serious, complex issues, with white people, and they're not our kind. They really aren't. I mean, they're black, but they're not our kind. And I think that's something else us foundational black people get confused about. Just because they're our color, that doesn't mean they're our kind. Their blues aren't like ours. Her parents were not from here. So therefore, she doesn't have the experience that we do. And we always kind of blindly give people the benefit of the doubt that they're black and they know. And another thing that everyone keeps talking about, and that is her issue that she went through high school. She skirts around it and she skirts through it. I want them to hammer her over the head with it. She went and she begged NAACP, and she had the nerve then to skirt around it and say, oh, yeah, I was homeschooled after that, and that they ended up making money off of me and of campaigning or, doing
that's her distortion of the events, because of course she's got to make it seem it's the inverse of the white women who dated black men. She's got to go to white society and convince them that she's not some black radical. So she's got to throw the NAACP under the bus and claim and go all in because she's got to make this farce work. She got to cover her tracks. So she can't leave anything uncovered because on paper her paperwork don't really line up when you think about it. On the alt-right side, her paperwork actually doesn't line up, but they've got her in so far now. If she's telling herself that she gonna pull a slick one and start talking about, let's talk about values and issues, baby, you're never gonna become our spokesperson. Your ship has sailed and sunk. There ain't no coming back. So she can sit there and dream about it, but it's not something that can actually happen. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get call from area code 301. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Nicole calling from Prince George's County.
All right, Nicole from Prince George's County. Where at in Prince George's County exactly, Nicole?
Landover.
All right, Nicole from Landover, what's on your mind?
So I was just gonna say Candace Owens really got into her bed witch handbag. Really, it seems like she was just typing up, just had so much vitriol towards black people during the George Floyd and the BLM, the height of that. It seems like she just, in white people's eyes, like they uplifted her even more so during that time. And then from that point on, it seems like she would fly a little close to the sun every now and again, and nothing would happen or whatever. Now, here we are. And I'd always said it's only a matter of time. She has so much vitriol and so much hatred for black people that it's palpable. And I'm so glad that she's gotten her wake-up call.
I mean, well, you make a very good point in that regard, because they allowed her, she was allowed to attack us with impunity for so long with the most vile, disgusting, anti-black racism. And eventually what they found out is bedwenches eventually tell themselves that they're better than MASTA is and that she can run this thing better than you can. Now, that's the real issue with white supremacy. White supremacy is a Darwinist asylum, is what it is. It's an insane asylum for Darwinism. They're constantly fighting with each other over who has the superior ideology to lead them to glory. And that's what it becomes. Well, guess what? Even their slaves and bedwenches tell them, I know how to run this thing better than y'all do. And that's exactly where she is. So she had been, you make a good point, she had been allowed to attack black people for so long that she told herself, I'm special. They love me. They worship the ground I walk on, and there won't be a problem if I expand the group of people I'm attacking. So next thing you know, she starts going to Jewish people. And she told herself that she's going to get the same leeway that she got when she attacked us. And what she found out frighteningly was, she got a brutal takedown. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Not the way it was before. So she cut her teeth on attacking us, and she told herself this will translate somewhere else, and it didn't. The moment she tried it here, we saw she didn't make it a year. That was it. They had the knives out for her from the very beginning. And the reason why they have to do this in such a brutal, straightforward way is you got to make an example of her. You have to make an example out of her so that whoever they bring in as their next token Negro understands what the rules are. And understands, by the way, don't ever tell yourself that you're so special, you're so great, you're so sexy. Don't let all that applause go to your damn head. We're the ones who run this, and whenever we want to cut you off, we can. So don't forget what your damn role is. Your role is to attack your people, not ours. Your role is to be negative toward your people, not ours. And don't think you're going to intellectualize it. You're going to
thought he
intellectualize your
was
ass right
really
out this door.
telling her something in
Thank you very much for
code.
giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from area code 757. You're on
But
live with the
God
Black Channel.
chose.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Tanya from Virginia Beach.
Tanya from Virginia Beach. What's on your mind?
In them taking down this tool, I think we have a talking point because I'm going to sit and watch my popcorn. She exposed, like, the Daily Wire's audience. Most crowd is extreme white supremacists, and they're against the Uwish. So they took her down for Uwish talking points. So we have a great talking point while she goes down in flames to say, wait a minute. How are you against her? So I'm like you, it's a house of cards, and I think it's going to be, I'm here for the house of cards falling down.
It's a circular firing squad. That's what it's devolved into. It's a circular firing squad. Everybody, duck. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Let me get called from here, code 804. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Look,
Ben, Richmond,
white
Virginia.
man
Ben in Richmond, what's on your mind?
trying to fucking come on
Well,
the
it's
property.
hilarious how they reminded her of the pecking order in that little interview. You know, it was they spoke to her as if she was just a freshman in their little college. Said, "Hey, Candace, you're smarter than this. You know that we can attack you. It doesn't mean that you can attack us."
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he literally said that
Right
just because
there.
a Jewish rabbi attacks you, that doesn't mean you have a right to attack him. He literally said that. Literally.
Right. He just came out and showed her and us the pecking order. That, hey, you can attack the
That's
blacks.
what white supremacy
Right, but you
defines
can't attack
itself
us,
as.
even if we attack you.
And
And it
see,
doesn't
so
even
what
matter
are you
if
doing?
you come up with a nice little
You know
analogy
better
of
than
how
this. You're smarter than
you
this.
criticize black people
The
for
fuck are you doing?
allegedly misusing
Sabotage.
racism. You know, that doesn't apply to us at all. Us meaning, you know, I imagine the Jewish gentleman. You know, however we want to use anti-Semitism is of no consequence to you at all, and you can't criticize it at all.
Oh, yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
just,
I mean, the crazy part here is, on the one hand, they're going to say there is no conspiracy on their side. And then on the other hand, watch all of them rose up at the same time and kicked her out the place. It's like, dude, if you're trying to convince people that there's not a conspiracy, this is not the way to do it.
Right, but you know, I'm just amazed how he just spelled it out for her. I think that was her broadcast. Spelled it out all for her. Spelled it all out for us. And you know, I guess he doesn't. I guess you believe. You were saying that he was making a mistake. He's just, I think he was just tired of hiding. I feel as though he was just expressing himself in the most honest way.
He certainly was. You're correct. He was expressing himself. Here's the problem. The problem is when you've grown so accustomed to being abusive that you and being allowed to do it, that you grow tone deaf to the fact that you're in a room with other people who can hear you. It's one thing when you're saying all this garbage in your head. Well, just if we Jewish rabbis attack you, then it's not right for you to attack us. Okay, dude, that plays in your head. That plays between your ears. That goes over great. You get a standing ovation between your ears. You say that in the real world, and you sound at best wacky and crazy. At worst, you sound like a Zionist supremacist.
All the time.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight.
When people talk about the Holocaust,
fella, I mean, the comment section says it all.
That's where it gets tangled up.
Wacky and
whose
weird.
Is worse?
And really abusive.
And white
worst,
supremacy
you
will
sound
never
like a Jewish supremacist when you say,
I
I can attack other people and they don't attack me. Dude, that's not the slogan to use. Find another slogan. That's not the one. Well, when we abuse you, we need to understand it. But if you respond to it, then, hey, what do you think you're doing there?
But I don't feel sorry for Candace.
Fella, wake the hell up.
He deserves what she got. And
all he did the amazing and the impossible. He made Candace Owens look better. As if such a thing could be believed. Call him area code 443. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
She's gonna get a coalition together, get some lawyers together.
This is Immigrant B1 in
get her
Georgia.
compensation.
Immigrant B1 Augusta, Georgia. What's on your mind?
Get a lawsuit that's gonna fall on deaf ears.
I know that
and she'll just be out here on social media trying to use her followers.
I just wanted to find out, do you think
until
that
somebody
it's
picks
be
her
like
up,
something so
but she'll be a has
to happen
been.
to black people like Candice that
That's exactly what's
dissuade
going to
them
play
from
out.
trying to be like her, or do you think that this is something that we as black people are just going to have to deal with till the end of time?
No, I mean, look, brother, you always have the weak, you always have the sellouts, you always have the cowards, you always have the individuals of no character, no scruples, no dignity, no integrity. You're always going to have that. Candace goes down, brother. The reason why they're so confident over there is because they know if Candace goes down, there's 10 more to take her place. 10 more chomp at the bit. They're already in competition to get that slot. So all they'll do is just say, okay, make sure, don't talk about Jews, don't talk about white folk. Okay, I'm ready to go. The problem with black people is, so that's just the way it is. That's the numerics. And because they keep opening the doors, they're bringing over a whole bunch of other folk just like her. So she is the result of the immigration policy of the last half a century. It's not accidental. So you got a whole bunch of others. I mean, a whole battalion of them. So no, this is never going to run out. It's never going to be exhausted. What we have to do is make sure that we are codified strong enough so that their presence doesn't have a negative impact on us. That's the thing we have to do. We have to not worry about them out there bed winching and bed bucking. Our job is to be strong enough that nothing they do affects us negatively. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, once again, I just want to appreciate your insight and your analysis, B1.
B1, brother, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Yeah, I mean, look, they got a steady supply of bed winches and coons and bucks. They got a steady supply, man. You're not going to get around that. You're not going to get around that. They got plenty of them. And that's the way it's always been. This is a system. This is the way the system runs. They have the ability to create the Candace Owens out of thin air. They'll have another one next week. Not next month. They'll have another one next week. They're going to start grooming. Watch. They'll have another one next week.
Oh, she going to have
Mark my words.
Oh, yeah.
Daily Wire is going to go find another black female. They're going to try to find one. It's either going to be a black female or a black male. They're going to try to find another black person here.
He's going to be gay.
Some straight-laced individual here, and they're going to go try to find them wearing yellow blazers.
Thank you.
And they're going to say, okay, see, we're not racist. We replaced Candace with another Negro. They're going to have to do that. They're going to have to do that. They're going to have to replace her with another Negress or another Negro. They'll say, okay, see, everything's great. And they'll be sitting there cheesing like Sage Steele.
Lemon. He'll be good for
They'll
that
be sitting there
shit.
cheesing like Sage Steele. Call them area code 901. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Rose calling from Memphis, Tennessee.
Rose from Memphis, what's on your mind?
Well, so great broadcast. I just wanted to pick your brain of what you think about something, but I know, like you said, they break into Daily Wire. She's fired from Daily Wire, but as you know, she's been going on like this black media tour, pandering to black folks again. And I feel like they're trying to use her for something else now to try to, maybe even get the black people to start voting Republican. Like, woe is me, black people. Yeah, I've been targeted. It's all because I said I was they say I'm anti-Semitic. They know that black people, for the majority part, we haven't got involved in the dispute about the war, what's going on over there. We're kind of just staying out of it. So they're trying to get black people to maybe try to pander and get some votes.
Yeah, that doesn't
self-sabotage yourself. Why the fuck
that won't work. And the reason why is because her credentials in black society have been torched.
When it could have been about
I want people here, don't mistake
is wrong with
an internet personality trying to expand their market with somebody trying to recruit politically. Don't mistake those two things. She doesn't have the influence, she doesn't have the pull, she doesn't have the ability for the political thing to work in black society. She's just trying to increase her viewer base. She's trying to get those numbers up. And now you see why she was trying to do it and why she's going to work even harder. So she's going to I predict she's going to back off some of that hardcore elbow throwing she was doing at first. She's going to ease up on that a little bit because she needs as much support, long-term support as she can get. So look for her to go a little bit less making enemies. Thank you very much for giving us a call. A little bit less. Don't worry, she's going to swing back to it, but look for her to be very conciliatory. Look for Candace Owens to be very conciliatory, especially if she starts to see her viewership numbers drop. She might have 3 million subscribers on YouTube, but if she sees those numbers going down, she might think a little bit differently about that. Calling from area code 504, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. This is G from New Orleans.
G from New Orleans, what's on your mind?
All right. Good evening, brother. Great broadcast. I just want to say the chickens have come home to roost. Candace Owens has a history, everybody's talked about it, of making the most vile and repugnant statements about black people. And the lesson in all of this that we can learn, especially, is that cooning has no 401k plan. That's what this woman has done. That's what Candace Owens has represented. Let's not forget 2020 when Ahmaud Arbery was killed out in Georgia by the McMichaels and that other gentleman, and I use that term loosely. She did a whole video that you can find on Facebook where she's trying to essentially justify his shooting, which is essentially what they did. Well, he wasn't that innocent. He was, not this black man was hunted down.
Did the same thing with George Floyd.
That not only did they follow this man and struck him with a truck, they met with the district attorney. He called the DA out in that county in Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, she went full bore for it there. You want to talk about a conspiracy? That's not a conspiracy theory. That's a conspiracy. And just like any other time, she was there to defend the murder of black people. She's always been dependable for that. And the white media has never had a negative word to say about that. All of a sudden now, they're coming out with the pitchforks and flaming and whatnot. Get the hell out of here. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from area code 215. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Trinessa from Philly.
Hi, Trinessa from Philadelphia. What's on your mind?
Yes. I just wanted to kind of piggyback off of what I just heard, especially with the conciliatory part. I don't think she can ever truly be conciliatory to the black community. One, she just got her Stacey Dash wake-up moment. And as we know, Stacey Dash, Omarosa, those folks can never really come back. Their activities are over. But, like, what she did with, like, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, what she said about Trayvon Martin, what she said about Mike Brown, what she said about Breonna Taylor.
Yeah, you can't walk that. You can't she didn't just say some inflammatory things. She said it over the course of years. She was right there beside the Richard Spencers and the Ben Shapiros. Every time something happened to black folk, she was right there to
go
defend
with
it.
Gail King and Oprah
You can't walk that one backwards. You can't say that was just a temporary aberration or that was a mistake or it was taken out of context. You've been hard body for it. So, no, there is no walking it backwards.
If I was Shannon Sharp, I wouldn't have a sit-down talk with her.
So right now what she's trying to do is rebrand herself. And if you look at her, when she put out her little statement, she pointed to her YouTube channel. She has the YouTube channel right now, but that's owned by the Daily Wire. And she has her own personal one that she's pointed to, which has 1.47 million subscribers. But if you go back to that one, it's going to be hard for her to clean up all that nasty stuff that she has within those videos.
She should have been shadow banned a long time ago. Should not be ads in it at all.
That's great. But you can't take back your words. Those words are there. And the hatred
that's
that
her brand.
She talks about her too.
It's not just her words. That's her
brand. She don't have nowhere else to go. But
so
lane.
If she wanted to, she would alienate her core white supremacist audience if she did.
Exactly.
So she's stuck between the devil and the deep black sea.
And,
thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Somebody in the chat room had said, what if she goes on an apology tour? Here's the problem. The people you want to apologize to ain't trying to hear it.
That way.
Now, there is a group who will hear it.
That way?
Roland Martin. Now, Roland would do it, but you got to bring a bag. Candace can get some. She's going to be able to get a few people with very low integrity to go ahead and go for it with her. But she going to have to bring something.
And it's not going to
so
be
she's going to have to bring them some real
and
audience numbers or bring them a bag.
That.
So if there ain't some dollars in it for them, she's not. They're not really gonna be looking for it either. That's the problem. So mark my words. If she did want to do such a thing, she gotta have something to offer. She gotta have something to offer.
Black people to get money.
Right now, like I say, it's gonna be real shaky to see if that happens.
They know who you are. They're gonna block you.
She doesn't have the financial resources to really drop a bag like she needs to. So what you gonna do? Call from area code 925. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
She had to sit her ass down somewhere and write some books.
Calling out of
do some documentaries
out of Oakland, what's on your
and just leave it alone. Live an average life.
Great podcast. I just want to make a quick point about the rabbi. I know you said you've seen the whole thing. There was a point, several points in there where Candace was railing against BLM, and then the rabbi said, oh, yeah, I didn't support that either. He went on a campaign and he said, I supported
Raise her child
all
and
lives
just
matter.
let it go.
And he talked about how
nobody want to hear that shit no more.
And the MLB and NBA and other people just literally start virtue signaling and putting Black Lives Matter on. So he was talking about how he rallied the troops to go on a campaign against Black Lives Matter. And then also the Democrats and the Rolling Stone, they hate Candace Owens, right? She's a flaming anti-Semite, but they called on her and Coleman Cruz Hughes to speak against reparations, knowing that their lineage is not even qualified for them. And then she has been going on this rebranding tour, but when she was on the Breakfast Club, you know, the charlatan, the fraud, and the other simps on there, they let her just subtly disrespect black men to their face when she said, you marry your IQ. And kind of like to the point that you was alluding to earlier about the anime, she said her first preference in terms of fetish and her fantasizing was against Asian men. So that was her first preference, was to go with an Asian guy, and then the black dudes was just an afterthought. And I'll just land with that. Thank you, brother. B1.
B1, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Real quick, want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program here on PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, everyone there. Thank you all very much for your support. We appreciate that. As always, thank you. Let me get caller from area code 617. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Shell from Boston.
Hi, Shell from Boston. What's on your mind?
One thing I saw within the last couple of weeks before this happened was that they have had their backstage show where they all get together, and they've actually been supporting Just Pearly. And they've had her on a couple of times. They've been talking about her lately, and they've been defending her views.
Yeah, that's real interesting. That's real interesting when she's Nick Fuentes's BFF. So, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. After everything she said about them as well. And they're glossing over that, but the only person that had some type of pushback was Candace, and they made excuses for Just Pearly.
Like I say, I mean, that lets you know what their real motivation is. It just lets you know that. If they had a real problem with it, and I'm the guy who broke that open to the world, okay, but yeah, it's not like that's news in that regard. So when she comes in the room, you want to talk about anti-Jewish. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
So they're letting you know. I mean, you make a very good point. I mean, look, they may be vetting her for that. They're trying to see if they can redeem her and clean her up. Pretty much they've taken her to the side and said, look, yeah, that anti-Jewish thing got to go. And she's more than eager to get away from that. She's more than eager to try to get away from that. And I think they kind of just made a little deal with her that they won't bring up Nick Fuentes if she's not trying to be booed up with him. So the real acid test is going to be if she still claims Nick Fuentes, but you make a very good point. These rabbis and Ben Shapiro, you ain't sitting here going at her and quizzing her about Israel and Gaza with her buddy Nick Fuentes. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't even need Nick Fuentes. That's a red herring. You don't even need Nick Fuentes. What Pearly Thing said herself is enough. What she said about the Holocaust herself is enough. Agreeing with Fuentes, so her own words are enough. So yeah, don't look for them to quiz her about that, about how she feels about Jewish people and then about Israel. Don't look for that to happen. Because at this point now, what they're going to try to tell you is, oh, it's been a year since I did what I did. It's going to be a year since then. So they're going to be like, okay, let's see if we can just, pave that over and see if anybody brings it, if anybody of any notoriety brings it up. Because in reality, it didn't start with the Daily Wire. What's his name? Pierce Morgan. That guy has been bringing her on and whatnot. So that this soft rehab of her is what they've been trying to do the whole time. They've really been trying to soft rehab her. It's ultimately going to fail.
And then Jason Whitlock had her on the other day too.
Yeah, but it's ultimately going to fail because Pearl's an airhead. It's ultimately it's not gonna work. The real thing is she's a snake oil salesman, and the people trying to boost her don't understand it yet. Her star was 2 years ago. Her star went and fell last year. You're not going to be able to reignite it. You're not going to be able to get her hot again. You can bring her on. She's not a ratings draw. She doesn't pull the numbers. And anybody who wants to shut her down, all they got to do is say, Nick Fuentes. Sorry, she's a permanently damaged brand. And she is too unskilled, unintelligent, and incapable of being able to raise that. So the more you talk to her, the less you see that she actually knows. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from Aircode 201. You're on live with the Black Channel. There. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. This is Frank from Jersey City.
Frank from Jersey. What's on your mind?
How you doing? No, your moderator asked me to call in because I had some comments about Candice Owens when she was on the Breakfast Club.
Okay, brother, you're wasting our time. What is it?
Well, no, she said call in. I just wanted to say, nothing. I called in because your moderator said call in.
Yes, sir. They told you to call in. You already know what you said. Let's get to it.
I know what I said. You want me to repeat what I said?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
What I said was the fact that you can't throw everything out what she said on the Breakfast Club. I understand she has some horrible comments about black people, and I get that. But emotionally, I'm not getting emotionally tied up in what she's saying.
Jared Taylor has had some intelligent things to say. Jared Taylor has had some intelligent things to say. Sir, Jared Taylor has had some intelligent things to say about architecture and music. Are we going to give him a pass for that? You can go ahead and ban him from the chat room there. She has some good things to say, Jared Taylor. She has some accurate things to say. Jared Taylor has some accurate things to say, too. Do we give him a pass for that?
Sounds like something Kanye would say.
No, as soon as he heard that, Jared Taylor has some good things to say. Oh, man. What did he say? Let me go ahead and slit my own throat. Yeah, there's no way in the hell you can defend that. Candice Owens got some good things to say. Look, just tell the truth. Little fruit booty mama's boy, just tell the truth. You are one of these dried out, desperate, dusty bum dudes who used one of these hangers on who's still trying to tell yourself that Candice Owens hit the wall, aged out ass is hot. You're one of these dudes, boy, she's a lot easier on the eyes than the usual battle axes they bring on.
Are you serious?
So just go ahead and say that, dude.
There is no sex
Go ahead and say you got a geek crush on that. Just go ahead and say that instead. Don't sit up here with this garbage like she's some prescient individual saying these great and wonderful pronouncements because she's not. Just go ahead and say that
of communicating.
Just go ahead and say that.
That's about all.
I be dreaming about Candace Owens. I be oiling myself up.
She doesn't have no
say
ass.
that
She don't have no titties.
Just say that part.
She is
Jay-Z,
not
you know,
pretty
I think she got a hot dude. I mean, just
give
what she had to say a chance.
Out of here.
She has a husband. Well, you know, I mean,
only
long as he don't know to
man
play.
Think she's beautiful.
So look, you got to understand. In the internet age, you got a bunch of fellows sitting behind their Game Boys, and that's the whole thing with him. He don't care what she says about black people. She looks better than the last 3 slop hogs I was dating. That's all he can think about right there. Boy, she would be my alt-right conservative crush.
That has somewhat of intelligence.
She's my real-life anime fantasy. So that's the type of individual who backs a Candace Owens. But the problem is, y'all don't understand. She say some good things. Negro, she literally would be standing with the police if they shot your ignorant ass down in the middle of the street. Candace Owens would literally be sitting with the police saying, you should have complied, you shouldn't have moved, you shouldn't have come outdoors.
Hell yes, she would.
She would literally say that. Immigrant B1, if you want to know what I was talking about, that was what I was talking about. She would literally be sitting there with the police, standing over your dead body saying it's your fault. And his dumb ass, the last thing he put on the internet, well, you know, she said some good things on the Breakfast Club. I don't see why y'all don't understand. I eat the meat and throw the bones away. I eat the meat and throw the bones away is what I do. I don't just take everything. I keep the parts I need and I get rid of the rest. I mean, she's sitting there with Officer Darren Wilson handing him a damn Starbucks cappuccino over your dead ignorant ass. She say some good things, dude. She say some good things. Some people are just not fit for survival. Just survival is not for them. They don't get it. They don't understand. They have no interest in it. They have no appetite for it. Survival is not for him. Call from area code 501. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Jay from Chicago.
Jay from Chicago. What's on your mind?
With Candace Owens, I guess, I mean, right now, if we're not talking about sponsorships, I mean, can she just go back and just start a YouTube channel and get demonetized and, you know, get it from the grassroots? But she really doesn't have any grassroots. I guess her lane is gonna be Fresh and Fit. You know, just coming on and bashing the women that come on that show about, you know, femininity and
that one's not going to work. And the reason that won't work is just like the screwball geeky caller who just got off of here. Nobody wants to be like Candace. That's the problem. There are no 14, 15-year-old girls out there who are saying, I wish I could become a professional bedwench and professional white ass kisser. That's not the point. That's not their feeling. So her advice will automatically fall on deaf ears because the audience doesn't want to have your life.
Bedwenches are chosen.
That's why her trying to switch over to the red pill relationship talk game isn't going to work for her. The females don't want to emulate her life. And truth be told, the men don't want her either, because you can pretty much tell this is the kind of chick who's going to tell you what kind of household is going to be. So if you're not a cuck, she's not a submissive woman by any stretch of the imagination. So she'll talk about the problems of Western culture, but she doesn't have a feminine submissive bone in her body.
Exactly.
So she's going to make more appearances in more places, which means that she already knew the Daily Wire was inching her out the door. So she's already let that be known. So she's trying it somewhere else because she thinks it's hot, but the problem is she's a flawed spokesperson. She's flawed. It isn't going to work. Other females can shut her down. And at the end of the day, people don't listen to you if they don't want your life. Her credentials are being a black-hating conservative. Those are her credentials. being a token black. And nobody wants to sign up to have the life of a token black. I'll let you have the last word.
I guess you could team up with Megyn Kelly, or
nope.
I guess she'll make some appearances on Jason Whitlock's show, which he's trash too.
That nigga had what, ESPN, and still can't get no views. So just let that be what it is. No, she can't roll with Megyn Kelly because Megyn Kelly is racist, but also Megyn is not gonna have competition. Over there on their little corner of things, Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson breaking bread. But that's because they're both former Fox alumni who both got fired, so they have a kinship in that regard. They don't want the Candice Owen'ses. Now, Tucker will talk to Candice, but only because she got more YouTube followers than he does, and he's still trying to get his numbers up, in that higher range there. Last I looked, he was near 1 million. I don't think he's over 1 million yet, but last I looked, he was near it. So he's trying to get those numbers up, is what he's trying to do. And he just did an interview with Chris Cuomo. He just did an interview with Chris Cuomo. So, okay, Tucker's at 1.8 on YouTube, so I guess the Putin interview really helped him. He's trying to get those numbers up, and he's, in this case here, talking to Candice gives him access to her audience, who are people who may have doubted his conservative credentials or whatever, with Trump and whatever. So talking to the hard alt-right is always a good thing for him to do in that regard. So for Tucker, that works a little bit better. For Megyn ain't making no lane for Candice. Megyn is even though she is the woefully aged out, blonde, blue-eyed bombshell, she's trying to hold on to that. She doesn't want a younger female competitor sitting next to her. Dude, that ain't gonna work. I mean, can you imagine? Candice is younger, more articulate, more insightful, and more tuned in to the internet zeitgeist. Megyn Kelly don't want to have a side-by-side picture of the two of them talking. She doesn't want to have a head-to-head comparison of those two. Megyn Kelly is what, 55 years old? She doesn't want that to be the case. She doesn't want that to be the case, man. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. So, no, dude, this, in theory, you would hope they would play well together, but truth be told, man, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Megyn is 53 years old. Candice is 34. There's a 20-year difference between them. 34 versus 53. You already know that this is a lost cause before you get up there. That side-by-side going to be a beast. Candice is actually going to get up there and get some decent hair for a change, instead of whatever in the hell this football helmet is she was wearing with the rabbi. She's going to get her hair done for a damn change and get some fly clothes on. She's going to be like, oh, I welcome this side-by-side shot. Half your audience leaving with me on sex appeal alone. So it's in Megyn Kelly's best interest not to do that. It's in her best interest to just send Candice a conciliatory email. Good luck on your future endeavors, and leave that alone. Don't bring that girl up on the screen at the same time as you. Don't do it.
B1, I'm out.
B1, brother, thank you for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, in theory, it sounds good. Don't do that. That side-by-side gonna be vicious. Don't do it. Baby, you 53. Next to Candice Owens, you're gonna look every inch of it. I suggest you go find somebody your age. Get that Maria Bartiromo woman up there. Y'all two side by side, that's good. Susan's going wild. That's good right there. Call from area code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, Jay out of Houston, Texas. What's going on, Jason?
Jay out of Houston, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, my only argument with you would be that I think she still has a lane, man. I mean, with the conservative group that she has, with the fresh and fit crowd, and the people that she can pay out, I mean, she still has a lane, man. I mean, she could probably fit into the, like you said before, if she has the money, she can get the Roland Martin crowd, she can get the fresh and fit crowd, she can get that fat Jason Whitlock crowd, she can get anybody that is willing to sell themselves out to their audience. they can get the crowd for it. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Here's the issue I have with that rationale. She's already got them. It isn't like Fresh and Fit debuted Candice Owens to their audience. The audience already knows who she is. So you pick up audience members from folks who don't really know you or are not familiar with you. Jason Whitlock's audience, I mean, he's a professional coon. They already know. His audience already knows who she is. These other folks, their audiences already know who she is. So it's not like she's being debuted to people who don't know her. So that's why I would be skeptical to think that that particular strategy is going to work. You're preaching to people who already know you and are already converted. You're not talking to people who don't know you and aren't converted. You're talking to folks who already know you. So she would have to come over on our side or something, and that's not going to work. And she can show up on the Breakfast Club, but she's not peeling off any eyeballs there, except for the Mama's Boys manga niggas like the clown that got off the phone earlier. But that guy there is like nobody wants to be around him either. So unless you're just the real rejects, you know, the from the land of misfit toys, you know, except for that group, I don't see it happening. Now, what she will do, what she is doing, is gaining synergy. Now, that can occur, but remember, that's not to grow her audience. That's simply to solidify her base. So that is something important for her to do. You know, she's getting her name out there more, showing up in more places. What she's trying to show is that she's willing to talk to other people outside of strictly political spheres. That's what she's trying to do. Okay, that's smart, but that will only have a limited appeal. Let's talk about the money. The majority of her money was coming from Daily Wire. Let's be very clear about that. That was the deal that she struck. The majority of her money was coming from them. Her YouTube monetization is going to be iffy at best. You've got Rolling Stone and CNN calling you an anti-Semite, damn it! How long, even if she is monetizing right now, and I don't know if she is or isn't, I don't know if she can or can't, but if she is, when you got all these mainstream outlets calling you anti-Semitic, oh, there goes your monetization. There goes that. You got this rabbi out here with a grudge against you. Okay, there goes that. So I don't think she can count on YouTube in that regard. She has her website. Okay, great. So she's obviously trying to set up to go the Steven Crowder route, because Crowder has a pretty rabid following that supports him very into the tens of millions of dollars. Okay, fine. I think she's a little too stiff to be able to pull that one off, and she's streaking towards 40 like a bug on a windshield on Interstate 95. So I'm just wondering how long she can trade on sex appeal. I think she's just really trying to shore her base up as much as she can. And yes, the only other option would be for her to try to pivot into the relationship space, and that's a dud. So if she can't get these folks who she thought was going to back her when she took this Jewish turn, if she can't get them to hold strong, it gets bad from here.
Well, I mean, I agree with you on a lot of that, but I have some disagreements. I don't know if you have time for that, but I agree with you on the most part of that, though, for sure.
What did you disagree with?
Okay, so I disagree with the whole turn. I mean, the sex appeal turn, for example, she's in her 30s, right? I mean, you have a lot of these incels. You have a lot of these people who are passport bros, whatever, you know, like me, for example. I'll squeeze on those, you know, piss and shit, you know, and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind some gutter sex for, you know, with her once. But besides that, I mean, she has an appeal to a conservative audience, and if she's able to sell herself out to the Roland Martin crowd, she can sell herself out to, I guess, some of these fake people out here who trying to be pro-black or whatever. These fake people, not everybody, but these fake people. But when them sell themselves out in order to make some money, she has a lane, dude. You have to admit, Jason Black, that she has a lane that she can walk right through.
Yeah, I mean, to some of y'all niggas sitting on your lazy boys in your thong underwear rubbing yourselves, yeah, she got a big lane. But for the rest of us, no, not so. We've seen badder broads who got better personalities. So, I mean, to fellas who females and they're not really used to females, she's impressive. To those of us who are used to females, she is mid at best. So it really ain't that thing, dude. She's really not that. She really ain't that fine. I mean, she is a Shreveport 6, so it's really not that great. She looks real serious. She looks real stern. So it's really not there in that regard. Now, there's a certain geek audience that just loves that, but they already do. The real thing is, I don't think it stretches beyond that. And she is every. Let's just talk about the relationship space. She is every 21st century female that you don't want to be around. She wants to talk about her degrees. She wants to flaunt how smart she thinks she is, even when she's not. So the only thing you guys keep geeking about is, boy, I'd love to lay up with that. And what I'm saying is, and that's all she's got to trade on. None of you are talking about her personality, anything profound she said. None of you are talking about her wisdom. You're not quoting her in any way. All of y'all are talking about, I lay up with that. And that's a damning commentary.
And you mentioned one thing. I said, I'll lay up with that, gutter sex, one night, in bed, in a hotel.
Okay, but you won't go to her YouTube.
No bras.
But you won't go. But you won't go to her YouTube or her website, and that's what she needs.
I'll go to her OnlyFans.
Okay, she got to start one first, sir.
Come on, Jason. Hey, look, I'm out of H-Town, man. She is fine enough for one night. I don't care how many haters you got in the audience. I don't care if you're a hater.
Houston,
look,
we have a problem.
Hey.
All right, Houston, y'all got to own this.
Hey.
Houston, y'all got to own this right here, boys. Houston, okay. First Sheila Jackson Lee, now this. So Houston.
No Sheila Jackson Lee.
Houston,
hey,
my condolences, Houston.
On a serious note, can I be a serious note though? She has a lane. If she play her cards right, she could be alone she could be here for another decade or two. I mean, besides the gutter sets, I'll engage with her for a second or two. She has a lane where she can get a monetary audience, and you know what I mean? That can last for another 2 decades. Am I right?
I don't know if she can support it with a primarily male audience in that regard. You've already got Megyn Kelly. If anybody could do it, Candice could. I just think it's going to be a challenging thing, and I don't think she's going to be the power in 5 years that she was for the previous 5 years. I don't think it's
okay. One more thing, Jason. Can I say one more thing?
Thank you very much for giving us a call. Houston.
Boy, what in the hell's the matter with you?
Yeah, man, I mean, I would have some gutter sex with her here. I'd roll around here. Yeah, you know, the hotel room. Houston, okay. Houston got to hold this L. Jason, you don't understand. I sure would. All right, Houston. Trying to help you out. Call from area code 917. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Dana from New York.
Dana from which borough in New York?
Manhattan.
All right, Dana from Manhattan. What's on your mind?
Yeah, to the people that are wondering, like, why she became self-hating, it's not so much that. It's when these people put their kids in these all-white schools, which Candice went to, they face many microaggressions. So when you go there young, this is what tends to happen to many of them. So with her, I don't think that she's actually selling out. I think that she really just has a mental issue where she really does just hate herself, and she sees herself a different way. She didn't do this like, oh, I'm going to do this to Tuesday.
No, really we know that's not the case. We know that's not the case because she filed a whole lawsuit before she ever got on. Before she became known, she filed a whole lawsuit about racial discrimination. So she's not ignorant. When she talked to the rabbi, she started trying to defend her black credentials. So she's not ignorant about it. No, it's not that.
No, I'm not saying that she's ignorant about it. What I'm saying is that the reason why she speaks like this and acts like this is because of that situation. And when she filed the lawsuit years ago, I did an essay on that years ago. It was the mayor's son that was who, that she had this ordeal with. I don't even think that she came for the NAACP. I think they reached out to her because of the situation.
I mean, maybe they did, but she certainly pushed the effort after that, so.
And she did get the money for it. I had the issue with her when she said that there was no racism when racism didn't come about until Obama was president. That's what made me do the essay on her. But what I'm saying is when you send your kids to these all-white schools that are only black kid in the school, they tend to come out a little twisted because they have these microaggressions. They're trying to, fit in with the white kids, and they just get lost to who they are. A lot of times they don't have parents that are teaching them.
Okay, well, thank you very much, because there's the real issue. We send our black children into all kinds of majority white situations. If your parents are on code and in touch with the kids, those situations don't sit there and transform them. If you got a home environment that's backing, if the home environment is what put you at that school in the first place, and if you go backing it, that's what happens there. So I would actually start at the home instead, because if the parents were not lockstep with it, there'd be more conflict out of her to begin with. The parents were in line with it. The school, that environment certainly doesn't help, but the parents are in line with it.
I 100% agree with that. I think a lot of times when parents do choose to send their kids to an all-white school, something's wrong with the parent in the first place. Because you're sending your child someplace they're going to be all day, where you don't even know what's happening to them. You don't know if what these teachers are saying, what the other students are saying.
Once again, it's an error. There's an error there. No, you do know what the teachers are saying. That's the thing. You do know. That's the whole reason for sending them there. They know what the teachers are saying.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Why would a black person that understands, why would they even send their child to that type of school?
Because, quote, I want my kids to excel in this. She's turned out exactly the way her parents wanted. Take a look at it from their perspective. Take a look at what she's doing. She's internationally known. Even if she's not famous, she's infamous. So from their perspective, she's married and got kids, and she's quote, very successful. So as far as a coon lineage is concerned, mission accomplished. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Take it from their perspective. From their perspective, mission accomplished. Everything's all good. Thumbs up. Everything's going according to plan. Call from area code 864. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Is this sleep apnea nigga really sitting on his phone? He sure is. If there's somebody in the 864 area code who knows some Bookman built nigga who called me up and fell asleep on the damn phone, go slap him across the back of the head and wake his ass up. I mean, this nigga is out like a light. Oh, he got a little simp ass snore too. Oh, can you imagine being with this in bed, ladies? Oh, I'm going there, nigga. Can you imagine this? How you gonna tell me you got an all true man and he's snoring like a hoe? I bet you he weigh about 400 pounds too. What? I bet you's a great big ass nigga with a little old snore to him. This big tiny, built looking like Bob Sapp. In bed like Bob Sapp, the sheet ain't even big enough to cover his feet. The big old sheet, but he's so big it can't cover his feet. It just covers him from about the middle of his chest down to halfway through down his knees. It's just this the life he's living. He's laying on his back. even remember what he was watching on TV when it happened. Just there's some woman out there, this your dude. I ain't get him off the damn phone. This is all right. Caller Miracle 321, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, this is Antoine from Orlando, Florida. Great broadcast. What a lady earlier, exactly what you say. As you know, I'm from Florida, so I'm used to these Caribbeans and other people from other backgrounds. The parents teach this to them. We all heard about, don't associate with Black Americans. What they don't tell you is not only that, but they worship white people. So is that guy? She can't right way. You know what I'm saying? They do this. My daughter's half Haitian. I have to instill stuff into her. Her mom not doing that. I have to do it. You know? And they put their kids in white schools. That's why you always see a black kid get messed up. You're like, how that happened? They're usually coming from a Caribbean or an African background. But back to Candace, I think what she kind of banked on, because she's around these white supremacists, and I know I listen to Tariq, and you see how they have these white supremacists come on his Twitter thing or whatever, and they say, oh, it's really the Jews or whatever. I think she really got caught up in that. I think they hyped her up that it's really the J people, and she thinks she can talk that trash, and they're not gonna, like you said, they're not gonna step with her.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there were two things that emboldened her. Number one, all those years talking trash about us. Number two, I guess she told herself that hanging with Kanye, and that Kanye has really been able to tread water very well in the last 6 months. He's been treading water very well. Okay, but that's the result of a 20-year career. So he's got a fan base that doesn't really care about some of the wacky stuff he says and does. They don't really care about that. Candace doesn't have that. So if she's sitting there looking at Kanye and thinking that that's some type of equivalence to what her life is or what her status is, that would be a huge error on her part to make. So I think that those two things together, she started to tell us she got some star power. She's heading towards 40. And I think that she really wants to be, Candace Owens wants to be a celebrity. I wanted to let you all know, this is the thing I want to tell you all about before. Candace wants to move a little different now because Candace wants to be a celebrity. She's heard all these people talking about, oh, you cute and this, that, and the other. She wants to get that shine. The zaddy she with, and ain't really hitting like it was. His attention isn't really satisfying her. She wants to get some of that raw sexual energy and attention. And so she's branching off into places where she thinks it's safe to compete for that. You're standing next to Kanye West, so now you got all these people, lights, cameras, and whatnot. So you're getting a level of shine from an avenue direction that you weren't previously getting it from. That's what I think caught her. I think she's looking at 34 years old, and she really wants to have a run as being the popular girl just on looks and sex appeal. She really wants to have her run. She doesn't want to, okay, you appreciate me for my brains and stuff. Okay, I need you to appreciate me as a woman. I'm trying to get that little medal. And I think that's what she's going for now. And she's going all out for it. But she made a detour. And a detour because of the folks she was hanging out with. And she got emboldened because of her proximity to them. And she was totally oblivious to who she worked for.
Oh, yeah. No, you're absolutely correct. You know, one last thing. I meant to say this, but I forgot about the whole situation, how people are taught from the diaspora when they come here. And I had one that come from the same place Candace people told me when I'm trying to school him on white supremacy. He's like, you black people are jealous of white people. They really tell them this when they're growing up. They think everything we say is that we're jealous of white people. This is real. We have to understand how these other groups think. And as you listen to Candace, you can tell that's how her parents taught her.
Now the mistaken notion that she's an honorary white person and they just showed her brutally. No, you're not. Do you all think that this Jewish rabbi would have talked that way to Megyn Kelly? Do you all think that he would have talked that way to Megyn Kelly? Do you think that he would have talked that way to one of the Fox News hosts? Do you think he would have, the white women, do you think he would have talked that way to them? Calling from area code 251, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
How you doing, Jason? It's Kevin from Mobile.
All right, Kevin from Mobile, what's on your mind?
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Now, you grew up, you was a wrestling fan. Do you think Candace could just be going through a face turn? You know, how like Big Boss Man, he went from bad to good. You don't think she could be going through one of those transformations?
No, and the reason why is because she doesn't know how. Number one, she doesn't know how.
Okay.
Because she doesn't know how to talk to black people. She doesn't know how to talk to us, so she doesn't have a means to do it, so that's not going to work. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. There was something I just remembered. There was something I just remembered. Hey, last year, after my video about pearly things came out and lit the world on fire, weren't there a bunch of people, weren't some of her former associates on her little show over there in London, weren't they saying that Pearly Things had the same manager as Candice Owens? If I remember correctly, when they were putting out that video saying she was in the room with this dude over there when they had these girls, weren't they saying that she had the same manager or same representative or whatever as Candice Owens did? Wasn't that what they were saying back then? What? Well, interesting. Yeah, I just now remembered that. That, by the way, yeah, they were saying that Pearl had the same manager or representative as Candice Owens back then, so they were already opening up that lane. And what I'm saying is, I wonder if Candice realized that, yeah, let's bring in Pearl, who is younger than you are, and she's actually white, not pretend white, not cosplay white. She's the real white. And you gonna be used to groom her, and you're gonna open up that channel on YouTube, and then we gonna move you out and move her in. And you just gonna be left on the sideline. So yeah, I just now remembered that. Damn, almost 3 hours into the program. Yeah, I just now remembered that. That's what they were saying.
But for Pearl, she don't have the talent that Candice has, so it ain't gonna work. And Pearl is very disingenuous when she talks.
But brother, here's the issue, and I get this, and I'm the first one to tell you that Pearl ain't never gonna happen for you, Pearl. But by the same token, if we say capability, then there's Laura, what's her name? Tommy Lauren. Another one who has been, now let's be clear, she's been mid. Let's be very, very clear about that. But she ain't the brightest bulb either. Then again, she didn't have to be. So this also underscores, hey, by the way, Candice, you have to be 4 times as smart, twice as good looking and 4 times as smart as your white female counterparts. And they sitting up here giving them a lane. You had to earn yours. Let's be very, very clear. As black people, every single one of us got to earn it, including the coons. Every single black person has to earn everything they get, including the coons. They got to earn theirs too. So she's had to fight and scrap and scrape for it, and they sitting up here, your man, Candice, is sitting up here making the lane for the girl they're going to replace you with. So I think it worked out for them. Candice is gone. They've hurt her image, so she doesn't get to take the benefits of being with Daily Wire with her. They slide Pearl up in there. They'll get some token Negro to be symbolically replacing Candice, but that's not going to be what they're going to. What they're going to find out with Pearl is that they overpaid. Now, that's going to be the reality for them. They're letting her YouTube numbers from 2 years ago fool them into believing that that's what she still is. So what she's going to do is try to make a deal, get a bag, and later they're going to realize She's not coachable. She's not upgradable. She's not smart enough to get good on this. What you see right now is the best she's ever going to be, and you overpaid. You overpaid. It's going to be Ryan Leaf all over again. You overpaid. She can't deliver what you all actually want her to deliver. She can't do it. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, I will say these two things. Well, real quick. I think I think that Candice, she was actually the Shannon Sharp over there at the Daily Wire, so they're not going to be replace her. Number two, I want to see her and Dr. Umar has his head-to-head showdown. I want to hear that. Number three, now we know Candice, she getting old, and she really a slut. She married a white man because he had a lot of money, but you got to keep it 100, Jason Black. Tell me you wouldn't smash the health off GP.
No.
Okay. All right. Hey, man. B-boy.
Get this nigga out of here. Let me tell y'all, no joke, stuff like that, that's what emboldens her. If she feels like men don't really mean it when they criticize her, then she's like, oh, you're just jealous you can't get with this. And just understand, that emboldens her too, by the way. That's emboldening her. Candice Owens is not some ravishing beauty. She looks like, this awkward sophomore in college. It's not anything great there. What you're doing is looking around at the aged out little old ladies at the conservative convention. Okay, compared to them, she's a dime. But you ain't got no choices. So, fellas, come on now. Come on. In the chat room, JC, if you post that again, I'm going to have you kicked out of here. You keep posting the same stupid thing. Whether you got Tourette's, nobody cares what her husband has gotten. By the way, you know how stupid you sound? White men divorce they black bedwenches all the damn time. And she not gonna get nothing because if her income is high enough, she can't get anything for that. And by the way, you don't have any real insight into their finances, so knock it off. You don't know what they have or what they don't. What you do know is he could drop her any day now and keep rolling. Now that we do know. What the hell do you think? You think his money is hers? Do you think that's the way the court system works? Some of these folks here sitting right here next to me, he rich. You don't have any clue what his finances are. Trust me. No, I don't trust you. No, no. You don't even know. Well, I think it is. You don't know anything. And furthermore, it doesn't matter. If he drops her tomorrow, she's gonna splatter like an egg on the sidewalk. And he gonna keep it pushing. She can have the house, she can have the kid. Then he's gonna go find him a white woman so he can reintegrate himself back into white society. Call from area code 941. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This the Deacon calling from Palmetto, Manatee County. And if Candice Owens want to come back to some soul pole, I got it. The Deacon right here putting his chance in because she's a beautiful woman.
What in the hell's the matter with you?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, she ain't got no BBL. She got a natural hair. She ain't got no white woman wig on, and you ain't gonna see her at Walmart with a light blonde wig, a khaki and lacy wig.
You'll just see her. No, you'll just see her on Fox News defending the police gunning us down. So no, you won't see her at Walmart with a fake wig. You'll see her on Fox News next to Sean Hannity, congratulating the police for shooting us.
Oh, but I'm gonna tell you though, one thing about it though, it's just like I think with her look and just her style, she turned me on because I'm used to Glorilla type chicks over here in ugly ass Florida. So yes sir. So when Candice come in on that Fox News talking real good and intelligent, and she look like her feet smell good, the woman looking tight into the Deacon. I hold her hand, I'll be a voice rocking step daddy. Oh yes sir. And the deacon tell her she come on back home. Come on, get the soul pole from the deacon. I ain't got nothing but love for you, Miss Candice.
Brother.
Now my money ain't worth a damn. Now I got a 3-digit income but God dog it, that Social Security check still comes. And yes, son, the deacon sell Viagra every month. God dang it.
Brother,
Yes,
brother, I gotta ask you, brother
Yes,
brother
sir.
Pastor Deacon Dr. Doug, I gotta ask you, Reverend Brother Pastor Deacon Dr. Doug,
Talk to me.
brother, how old are you again?
The deacon 45, but really 62.
I'm about to say,
Yes,
brother,
sir.
you sound like you about 70 years old. Now, I hate to besmirch a woman's honor, even if that woman is Candice Owens.
Go ahead.
Brother, what you gonna do with a 34-year-old?
See, the deacon gonna virginize. She haven't had no good soul pole since '96 when Tupac died. So
But brother, I'm scared. I'm scared you gonna have a cardiac arrest. What you gonna do with a 34-year-old?
Oh boy, it's a lot of things we gonna do. We ain't going to the library though. We going to that house. I live in the efficiency. So boy, I'm gonna take home Miss Owens there. We gonna ride the big Cadillac. I got that dead president Cadillac. You know the one that remember when old dog came home from the army and the lady knew how to have good freaking sex. That's the kind of Cadillac I got a chance to be.
But brother, what about the Medicaid and the arthritis?
Oh boy, look at the deacon got a little bit of big gay medicine now. The only thing I get a Charlie horse in that left ass cheek, but I know how to take a little. Yes, sir. I got the lower tabs and them good Percocets, to make my nature feel good. So yes, sir. But I'm bobbing and weaving. I'm Muhammad Ali when I goes in there. Oh yes, sir. And I want Miss Candice. I've been liking her. That woman attractive. I like a woman with an ugly ass Thelma from Good Times How, dude. It just turned me on. And then she got a natural neck. If you look at the back of old Miss Owens' neck, remember when she had the White Lives Matter t-shirt on? Oh, when her and Kanye West. Oh, I like the way her backside look. I want a woman with an 8th grade backside. Because some of these women with these big ass BBLs, some of them stink. And they too big, brother. A woman got a milk crate ass back there, and I'm tired of looking at this. How your head little? You got a little old lemon head, but your backside big and coordinated. So yes, and then your feet little. These chicks shaped like Pepsi bottles, 2 liters. I want me a natural born woman. Yes, sir, brother, with small A-cup breasts. I don't want her to look like no white boy in the chest. And she don't need to look like Michael Jackson, but she keep her natural color. And boy, the deacon gonna have a good time. You hear me? Oh man, we might even go to the reparations, goddamn, the parade, whatever. Yes, sir, because it's time. And I know she easing back over here. So Miss Candice, if you listening, the deacon throwing his shot out. Now his check ain't worth a damn. The check got on life support, but boy, he got other good things that you will love. So again, brother, y'all don't need her. I pick her, goddamn it. And she clean too. Her feet look like they smell good. But brother, yes sir. And anything else too, brother Blake, before old deacon gone? Because you done got me excited. Praise the Lord.
Okay, well, thank you very much here, brother. Here, it's just, that nigga got to take out a payday loan to take her on a date. He'd have to go down to the corner of 5th and Elm so he can go ahead and panhandle some money to take her out, brother. It's not going to hit the way you want it to, brother. It's not going to hit the way you want it to. It's just, what the hell are you going to do with a 34-year-old? It's just sit there and look at her and hope nothing too bad happens. He thinking it's going to be an amusement park ride. It's going to be more like a car wreck. It's like, oh, wait a minute, she got a firmer grip than I do. He going to figure, oh, she got a firmer grip than I got. Whoa. Oh, this could go bad. Call him area code 404. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Call from area code 404. Last try. You're on live.
Hello.
Oh, shit.
Hi.
I'm
Michelle. How are you?
Ran away.
Okay, Michelle, where are you calling from?
Wisconsin.
Okay, where are you calling from?
I don't like
I'm not a fan of Candice either. I don't like how she talks bad about her people. But this is on another level what she's done.
Okay, ma'am. Where in Wisconsin are you calling us from?
American?
Say again.
You said I'm from Wisconsin.
Yes, ma'am. Where at in Wisconsin? That's the state, ma'am.
I'm in Washington.
Okay, she sounds very unsure about herself. All right, you got 30 seconds. What's on your mind, such as it is?
Okay. I agree. Candice is she's a piece of work. I don't like what she's done over the years, talking about her people. But by the way, when she talked to the rabbi, which I don't want to call him that because that means master. It's on another level. It's not all about money. She basically exposed him and made him look very small. And she was bold enough to do that. I have not seen anyone else with the platform she has as a woman do that, you know. So I have to give her kudos for that, you know, because those people are being exposed when they were underground in a tunnel and raping. Had 30 women captives of another so-called rabbi, and it was in the news and out of the news. They're being exposed, and she's helping it, you know. And what she did was brilliant. The way she broke him down, she embarrassed him. You know, she made him look really small. So that's what it's really all about.
I can't even say thank you for your call. All right, let me get caller from area code 415. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Don P. San Francisco.
Don from San Francisco. What's on your mind?
Man, I didn't even want to call you tonight. I wanted to save my weekend calls because I was like, I'm done with Candace. I'm not even thinking about her. But when Deacon Otis got on your line, I was like, oh, hell to the nose. So I mod for other channels, and Deacon Otis has been on twice. One last week and then 1 week before. With this tomfoolery that he had. And I was like, ooh, I wait to see how this is going to play out on Jason's channel. It played out exactly the way I expected it to. Yeah, torched the nigga. And so, you know, V1 ain't to be played with. This is not a square for fools. Keep your tomfoolery to yourself. And don't come up here with real ones. You understand what I'm saying? Jason Black, that's my brother. Because I believe we have the same ideology, belief, and I believe that we'll die for one another on that front line. But the tomfoolery, keep that shit in your comedy club. And put some holy water on your ass.
Or in his case, he can just put some regular water in. I'll go for tap water at this point. I really will. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, Don. Let me get called from Miracle 615. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Uncle Jay. This is Tony from Nashville.
Tony from Nashville. What's on your mind?
Yes, I'm glad the brother said what he said. The previous caller said what he said, because I think this just gives us, although that shit was funny what the old head was saying, it just gives an idea of what black people got to go through as far as us getting sold up the river for a piece of ass and everything. I'm really, it's really sad to hear that, you know what I'm saying, all these men are calling in, you know, knowing that this woman will stand on your grave and talk shit about you and say that you should have been complying when the police was trying to arrest you or shoot at you when you were unarmed. and they still talking about, yeah, she look good, you know, she sound good, she speak good, this and that. This woman was literally spit on your damn grave and not even think nothing about it. And it's crazy that these people calling up talking about, you know, I'll still hit it. It don't make no sense to me, Uncle Jay.
Well, I mean, look, but that's also a good thing. It is good that they put their chips on the table. Look, I'm not that fella telling folks to hide what they think. I've never been that dude. I want everybody to fly their banners openly. I want all the coons, the suckers, the simps, the individuals who will sell us out for a peck on the cheek from a bed winch. I want all of them to throw their banners up, throw their flags up, and let it be known. That's what I want.
Right.
I want everything up top on the bricks, because here's the thing. If we don't see it, a lot of folks don't believe it. And I want you all to understand that is what emboldens her. Because when she sits up there and tells the white folk behind closed doors, see, that's how easy it is. See, they don't have any cohesion. They don't have any principles. That's how easy it is. That's why I'm here with you, Zaddy, because that's how easy it is to break those black men. See, so it's very important that we understand that that's a real thing. That's not our imagination. It's not just a talker. There is an element that does that. And once you accept and understand there's an element that does that, you'll stop overlooking it. And so when we reference her, I was talking about that before, when fellas in the talking about, oh, she looked like this and looked like that. Not a word about her damn policies. Not a word about it. So these are fellas who ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing to bring. Don't have anything to offer. And
next time you
they will sit up here and sleep with the damn alley cat if you would slow down long enough and stop hissing at them. So we just need to understand that that's really what's going on. These guys are really out there representing. They really are saying those things. They're really on Facebook and Twitter sitting up here saying, I don't give a damn if she hate black men. If I can lay up, and if that's the height of his aspirations, dude, you'll get killed doing that. Let's see what finds out. All I can say, welcome to your Darwin Award. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call from Air Code 703. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Mike from Alexandria, Virginia.
Mike from Alexandria, what's on your mind?
So I'm about to repeat the sentiment to the last caller. I wasn't even planning to call up, but after that, just string of callers that basically, like, just sold their soul for, like, an average-looking chick. Forget even looks in general. It don't matter if she looked like Lauren London. This like woman has gone on record defending Trayvon Martin getting killed, defending George Floyd getting killed, and you brought it up to them, and he completely bypassed it like it didn't mean anything. Well, yeah, I mean, she got some, like, bro, what is going on right now? Like on your other channel, we hear you talk about how desperate some of these dudes are for sex, but you're right, it really puts into perspective. They'll really sell us, like, out for a little average chick, just anything.
Well, the reason why I do this is because you cannot truly understand what it means to be on code until you are brutally assaulted by what it means to be off code. You can't truly understand it until you get here. And you see they really will go this far. These kind of fellas really will do this kind of thing. They will literally sit here and break bread with your enemy. And here's the crazy part, brother. Here is the insane part of this. They have absolutely zero probability of what they fantasizing about ever happening. They are sitting here selling their souls and denigrating themselves for a picture on Instagram or YouTube that they have zero chance of ever fulfilling the fantasy. So what I'm saying is these are the ultimate daydreaming dudes out here. They have no chance whatsoever of ever getting close to her in any way, shape, form, fashion, or manner. If you got hit by a car, she wouldn't call 411, much less 911. So understand that that's just how serious it is. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight here. Let me get caller from area code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, you hung up on me, man. But let me say this, man. Dude, those calls are wrong, bro. Come on, man. Jason, 25% of the males on your audience, they will subscribe to our OnlyFans if they have the opportunity. Am I right?
Nigga, please. Go to sleep. Caller from area code 571. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Shakir. I'm calling from Arlington, Virginia.
All right, Shakir from Arlington. What's on your mind?
I wasn't going to call in tonight either. But this whole thing, do you realize accountability? We can't really call people to account like we should. You know, Black Lives Matter. Those people, those women that stole that money, if they were in communist China, they would have been put to death. And when people sell us out, they, you know, we have no way of exacting that punishment. You know, I mean, just think about that. If they had done, and over in China, what they did with that money, they, no question, they would have been put to death. That's how serious this is. I'm out.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. I mean, these fellas sitting up here caping for Candace Owens' sex appeal. Do you realize how dry your life has been if that's what you're reduced to? Do you realize that? And then talk about what the rest of us would do. Nigga, please.
Thank you.
Just because your standards are that low and you're that cheap and you're that easy to buy, that doesn't mean the rest of us are. They're looking, y'all niggas crazy. I be all over that. Y'all niggas nutty. Hey, if you want to know why it is that every once in a while you see a black male get took off in the woods somewhere and he's dead under some mysterious circumstances, okay. Oh, come on with us, Leroy. All right. Yeah, that's right. Reggie nigga don't understand. Man, they don't get it. Oh, by the way. Hey, do y'all remember the truck driver? The truck driver who was where? In South Texas? He told us he was going off with the 2 or 3 Latino women that night. Remember, I was trying to warn him. I'm like, hey, bruh. You don't even know them like that. Trying to convince me that everything's okay and everything's sweet and ain't no racism and this, that, and the other. I'm like, hey, do you even know these women? Not really, we just met, but it's okay. Hey, bruh. What in the world? So y'all notice we ain't heard back from him yet either. A little ominous, but by the way, hey, we ain't heard back from him yet neither. Okay. Before I go any further here, shout out here to Andrea Roberson in the super chat, along with everybody else here. Big shout out here to Alan Lloyd. We thank you very much for your support here tonight. Jean, Mark, B, Walter, Sean, and everyone else. I'm going to take a couple more phone calls here. Let me get caller from area code 646. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Onan from Queens. What's going on, Jason?
Onan from Queens. What's on your mind?
So there was an interview that Candace did with Mark Lamont Hill, and during the interview, the situation with George Floyd was brought up, and she said that it would make more sense if the cops were to turn around and protest black men because of all the apparent assaults that were taking place against police at the hands of black men. And when she said that, that just solidified her place in coon history as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not even ashamed to admit it. I'm one of the brothers who actually did think that she was kind of cute back in the day. You know, but I'm not out here just thinking with my little head. I'm out here thinking with my big head. And I got to see things for what they are. You know what I mean? So that coon caller that called out, you know, with all this preaching and proselytizing and speaking in tongues about what he's going to do with Candace Owens and all this other stuff, I get it for what it is, but at the same time, it's like what you said before, you got to let people like that speak and let they, you know, just let they flag fly so you know how to identify them and just get them out of the paint. So we can get some real purpose done, and I'll land there. So be one, brother.
Brother Onan, you
yes, sir.
You used to think Candace Owens was
Hey, you know
Really,
what?
brother?
I'm not even gonna hold you. I actually think she is kind of cute. I'm not a fan of her politics.
Brother
but as
Onan.
far as-
Brother Onan, and you know what's coming next. Brother Onan,
You need help.
are you still bisexual, or was this conversion? Or was...
Nah, I still am. No, I'm not running away from nothing.
Okay.
I still am. I'm just stating an opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, look here. If I can hook you two up, nigga, I'm doing it tonight. If I could do that, I'll throw a little few dollars at that one. I'll throw a few dollars at that one. Oh, trust me, I'll see if I can help finance that one for you. I'll throw a few dollars on it. So it's just, all I can say is let that speak for itself. Let that speak for itself right there. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I'm like, just let that one speak for itself right there. I thought she kind of hot. I thought she was kind of hot, Jason. All right. Let me kick this nigga out my bed. Come here, Candace. I think she look all right.
Welcome to my trap.
Get the hell out of here, Elroy. Candace coming over. All right, let me get, caller from Airco 321. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on live. What is your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name's Bianca, Jacksonville, Florida.
All right, Bianca from Jacksonville. What's on your mind?
So first I want to say that, of course, I hated Candice Owens at first. I didn't like her. I started watching her show. And of course, the Daily Wire is very far right. And to my surprise, she was starting to have a lot of liberal views. And, you know, she was being very outspoken about the Jews. She was against what's happening in Israel, very pro Palestine. And I knew that she was going to get fired because it seemed that she was sharing a lot of her liberal views. Like she was getting a little bit too comfortable. I don't know if you watched a lot of her show lately. Still, she keeps a lot of those you know, right views, and you know, still supports Donald Trump and all that other stuff. But she was sharing a lot of liberal views towards the end.
Well, I mean, in some areas, maybe, I mean, I don't say liberal, maybe more moderate or whatever, but it's, I mean, don't read too much into that kind of thing there. She's been trying, she obviously understood the writing was on the wall when Ben came for her so publicly. When Ben Shapiro came at her so publicly, that was her nigga wake-up call right then. He wasn't doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Shapiro does not do that if Jeremy Borish does not back him. So if Ben is coming at you, he's got Jeremy Borish's blessing to do it. Right. And she knew that right then. There's no way Ben's coming at me like this. I'm part of Daily Wire. There's no way he's coming at another colleague on Daily Wire unless he got the backing from the boss. There's no way he's doing this. So she knew, every black person knows when they get ready to get fired. Every black person knows when the management just lets something really wacky go ahead and happen there. So every black person understands when that's the case. And when Ben started shooting at her so publicly, she knew, and Jeremy didn't do anything about it, she knew right then. She knew right then, okay, my days are numbered. Next thing you know, she starts going on other people's programs and trying to expand her audience reach and so on and so forth. So that's where that came from. She knew it was happening. She knew it was coming then. She is completely unsurprised that this happened. She hung in there as long as she could, but it was coming no matter what. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Now, let me get a call from area code 678. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jason, good night. My name is Orion. I'm calling from Lithonia, Georgia.
I'm really
Hi, Orion and Lithonia. What's on your mind?
I'm really disappointed
Well,
and
this is the way I look at it
surprised
as far as her being a pretty
that I
woman.
only have one fucking
Under a
person.
microscope,
And
rattlesnake
that
venom is very pretty as far as the colors.
Our
Does that
lives
mean that
not
you would want it
full.
in your
I
bloodstream?
cannot believe this shit.
I think not.
I
ended
must
there.
be getting banned.
Very good
or,
point. Some of these Negroes believe in
shadow
tongue-kissing
banned.
rattlesnakes.
I don't know
Thank you
what
very much
the
for giving us a
fuck
call
is
tonight.
wrong
Let me get a
with
caller
y'all,
from
man.
area code
Y'all
251.
just a
You're on
bunch
live
of
with the Black
fucking
Channel. What's your name? Where
dummies.
you calling from?
That's all y'all are.
Hey, Jay, this is
Just
Kevin
a
calling back
bunch
from
of
Mobile.
fucking
I just want to say
dummies.
this real quick. Now, y'all got to be fair. Just because you a smash a trick, that don't mean you going to put on a line. Candace, she kind of ugly, but she kind of sexy at the same time. And I'm going to tell you what made me respect her when she stood up to them Jews. Because a lot of people scared of them, but she stood up square. So, like I say, just because you a smasher don't mean that's
Brother, okay, let's try this a different way. Shouldn't a man have standards?
Yes.
Okay, shouldn't one of those standards be that we don't sleep with white supremacists or aspiring white supremacists? Shouldn't that be a standard too?
I mean, if you're going to use it for a calm dumpster, though, I mean, I use it for a calm dumpster.
Well, sir, if your sexuality and genetic material is that cheap and that low in value, then we ain't got nothing else to talk about. I don't understand your worldview, and nor do I desire to do so. Thank you very much for giving us a call. No, brother, I can't shove my head up my ass far enough to be able to see the world the way you do.
Exactly.
I'm trying to see the world the way you do, but I can't shove my head up my ass enough to be able to see it the way you do.
Talk about it, brother. Talk about it.
If I could shove my head up my ass far enough, maybe I could see life from your perspective, but I just can't. I can't get it there. So it's just not gonna work.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would. Dude, she's sitting over there dancing the Macarena while the police shot you. Sitting there laughing. I mean, well, that don't mean nothing. What that's supposed to mean? You know what I mean? I had some exes, they treated me bad too. My mama used to bust me upside the head. My auntie used to kick me down. My grandmama used to sit up here and throw banana peels on the floor that I fall in it. My granddad used to give me shoes that were 4 sizes too big. Told me that's all they got. I've been treated way worse than Miss Candace would treat me. I've been treated way worse than that. I'm thick-skinned, Jason. I'm thick-skinned. Mobile, hold this L. Houston, hold this L. Oh, the South is suffering tonight. And then they want to talk about what the rest of us would do. Nigga, please. They want to sit here and project their division. You know, the rest of y'all would. No, nigga, no. Ain't gonna get lean. There's a whole bunch of things you do that the rest of the world's not doing. Really? You wouldn't do that? No. Shrimpstein B1 there. Just became a member of the channel. Ain't seen your name in a while, brother. Ain't seen your name in a while there. Let me get caller from area code 929. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
60 seconds.
Rashad from the Bronx.
Okay, what's the name again?
Rashad from the Bronx.
All right, Rashad from the Bronx. What's on your mind?
So basically, I feel like when she comes, we already know what they do. They're going to come back to black media eventually once they get done with them over there. I just can't stand the fact that she doesn't really get challenged on the horrible, crazy things she said against our community. She comes to our community and speaks to our media, and she doesn't really get challenged. That is what it is, but that part is just insulting for us as a people and embarrassing because we don't even hold ourselves accountable for crazy things they say. You just go sit with Charlemagne and it's like all this fluff they discuss. That's in itself. Now just bear with
10 seconds.
Political point.
But he'll dog rappers.
I don't understand. She has to make this pivot. You got to go big or go home. This is the Trump era. It's 2024. Everything is up. It's up. It's up. Why is she going soft with the black pivot? Just politically, I'm discussing. If she was going to make this move, why not go hard? Why not go reparations? We have all the
because she literally sat up in front of the United States government and said that she was against reparations. Furthermore, she doesn't qualify for it. So,
yes, but she wants. That's her whole image. Like, I'm making this stand because it's right, not because I'm going to benefit. It would be an even stronger stand. And even if it's a farce, it would be positive for her towards her goal to come back. I'm just talking politically. And if she want to deal with Trump, who's looking to probably win and even bring more black people over to a conservative side, I'm just saying politically, then it would be something that she discuss seriously and say all the facts that we know we have the greatest case for government repair than there ever was. It's the time for it. There's no one discussing it. It would be her own lane, and it would be a big swing, and it would give her more balls than any of these black commentators out here, because guess what? She would have facts behind her. It would be a grift. She's still a horrible person. But I'm just saying politically, I think that would be something better she would do. And I do appreciate you having this forum, even though some people get ridiculous and not serious about it. I do appreciate you giving everybody a voice. Y'all be well. Always think black people.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, Candace is trying to pivot, but really just to expand her audience. So she's not really going to change any of her core policy positions because it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So there's the real issue there. There's the real issue there. She's, she needs to have a safe haven, but she burned all of her bridges among the people that she came from. There's the problem. She needs a safe haven. She needs a place safe to hide out at. And the folks that she gathered around her ain't really committed to giving her one.
You're a hater, dude.
So this is it. It's do or die. It's do or die. I'm not predicting that she's going to go away, but I definitely see her strength is going to be compromised. I definitely see that her strength's going to be compromised. I don't see her working the same way. I don't see her working the same way. If nothing else, she has officially gotten her Negro wake-up call. I mean, it was brutal, it was loud, it was public, and they gonna keep going at her. Just understand, they gonna keep going at her. It's real easy to talk about this week. What she's not thinking about is next year. When the press and the media and the corporations are still describing her that way. That's going to be the issue. Nice to fantasize that you can shake that off. Don't think it's going to be as easy as that. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m. Gentrified Race War, all available on DVD and streaming.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. Our crowdfunding for my new documentary film, 8 a.m., is still ongoing here. You can be a part of history. The link is in the description. Go ahead and hit that now. We definitely want to see you be a part of that as well. Speaking of which, I want to thank all of you for being a part of tonight's program. Thank you for joining us live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you to every single person who has contributed to support tonight's program. As always, you are appreciated. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncommon.